speaking with Carl Dumbrell and Phil McNamara this morning from Herencia Resources on JustStocks. Phil, Carl, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Andrew.
Morning, Andrew.
Carl, look, first time we've spoken about Herencia Resources. Give us a bit of an introduction.
Yeah, so Herencia Resources is a London-based company. It's formally listed on AIM. It's been delisted for a number of years now, and it had a series of projects in Chile, South America. The company has gone through a transition through the COVID years. It's stayed alive. It's got a loyal shareholder base with over 500 shareholders and a very clean balance sheet. We've been identifying opportunities for Herencia during this time frame, and we think now that we're in that process of having found an ideal project for the company that will commence a relisting process in due course.
Tell us a bit more, Carl, how the company's survived while being delisted.
Yeah, look, nothing's easy when you're not listed. So we went into that process just before COVID, and that knocked us about in many ways. We weren't able to travel. Our primary focus at that point in time was South America, and that became very difficult. So we had to make some decisions to step away from South America. And as far as running the company during that time frame, we just scaled right back to nothing. We met all obligations, and the company was simply funded by the board.
Well, just on that, so during that period, all reporting obligations have been met?
They have. We've complied with Companies House in all ways. This is a clean company. It's in good shape, and it's ready to do something.
Ready to do something. So what are the plans, Carl?
So as I said at the beginning, Andrew, that we've looked at a number of opportunities. We've gone into some pretty serious due diligence over the last 2 to 3 years. And many of the opportunities coming to us are just really large, and probably too large at step one. So what we've found here is a gold project in Queensland, Australia, that we can get into at an affordable cost with an early stage work program. And Herencia has entered an MOU, subject to conditions precedent, of raising some money, that we can acquire 50% interest in an early stage project that we think is quite exciting for this company.
Tell us a bit more about the costs.
So we need to raise £300,000 to acquire our 50% interest in the gold asset. And that will give us some running room as well in the exploration program. It's not a significant amount of money, but again, it's something we feel is the right size for this company to get started.
And how do you expect to source that capital?
Yeah. So shareholders are going to see a number of documents being placed on the Herencia website over the next couple of days. We are reaching out to all our shareholders, many of whom have been emailing the board for the last couple of years, to offer them an opportunity to participate in a convertible note. Now, the terms of that note will be released and emailed through to as many parties as we can through our systems, as well as brokers and normal friends we have in London, and you can download it on the Herencia website. And we invite parties to participate in this raise for £300,000 in the future of the company.
Are you expecting decent shareholder support?
Yeah, we are. It's amazing how many people reach out to us about Herencia. It has a history, it has a following in London, and we want to make this work. So we do believe we will get strong support in this. And we're supportive ourselves, but we're also thankful that people are taking an interest in this. They've not forgot about us.
Phil, good to see you. Just tell us a bit more about some of the technicals around this gold project.
Thanks, Andrew. The gold project is located halfway between Townsville and Charters Towers in North Queensland. Charters Towers being a famous old gold tower. It's like the Kalgoorlie of Queensland. There was even a gold stock exchange at the end of the street in Charters Tower. So it's a famous old place. There's still gold operations around there. There are still existing gold mills in operation. There's a couple of big mines operating. The mining lease that we're procuring has been privately held for 30 years, and maintained from a compliance perspective, but had no work done, no exploration work carried out. But we know that there were old hand workings there. I've been to site 3 times. We've done a lot of soil sampling and rock sampling. In fact, we've completed a soil sampling program across the lease. And we know from the information we've got and previous geological reports and the fact that the hand workings there, we know there is gold in an outcrop about 500 metres long on this mining lease. So we're looking at it from the perspective of this is a very low cost startup operation. We're looking to drill out the prospect, prove a resource that's at commercial grades, and then contract mine it and truck essentially high grade ore to a local mill, work a deal up with a local mill, and have the gold processed at an existing operating mill. That gives us an opportunity to, we feel, to get the mining operation going quite quickly in 2025 with exploration later this year, and then subject to getting the right results from the exploration, we see a fast payback of the investment cost to purchase the gold mining leases. We've got historical reports that were completed by a Valmin accredited geologist in 1997. He dredged his way through previous reports and exploration work that was done. Of course, the price of gold was totally different then to what it is now, but that information is, we hold that information. We can't release a lot of it because it's not actually JORC compliant data, but our exploration intention is to drill this out to a JORC compliant, commercially profitable resource that can then go and contract mine. We don't need a lot of capital to set up because we don't have no intentions of building a plant or any major infrastructure on site. This is a purely contract operation looking to take advantage of the outcrop that exists. And we see that the upside is that this outcrop's fed from somewhere deeper down, and we'll be looking for what that source is.
And so from some of these field trips and the soil sampling, you've seen some decent grades there, have you?
Yeah, we've put our rock sampling maps out, and along the old workings, the 500 metres of outcrop, we've had grades up into the 20 gram per tonne range from picking up samples from the surface. And there's another prospect on the lease called the Tunnel, and there's an old hand dug stope there with this black gossinous crumbly material, and I grabbed a sample out of there and it went 37 grams per tonne. And you can see this stuff, you know, it's you climb down into the stope, and there are old pit props there. People have worked in this by hand with pick and shovel, and I grabbed a sample, and it's 37 grams. And then we grabbed another sample, and it was up in a similar range. And so, yeah, we're confident that there's gold in this site. We know it's close to existing mills. We think it's a great prospect for a small scale startup that's got some upside attached to it.
Well, Carl, you'll be keen to get moving with this project. What are the plans for relisting?
Yeah, look, as Phil said then, we've got a pretty aggressive work program for calendar year 2024. So with the £300,000 raised, we can get on with what needs to be done there in exploration and the drill work. We would like to leverage off that in basically a listing program for early 2025, but we'll probably start all the compliance work in September, October this year in the UK. We're also looking and in discussions about some other opportunities at the same time. So investors need to think about this and say, well, here's a very clean shell that has a good spread of shareholders and still has support from leading brokers in London. So we'll be doing more due diligence on those other opportunities. But at this stage, what we're presenting to people is the opportunity to look at a relisting of this company probably early 2025, very similar to what we used to do, and that is it's mining, it's gold, it's a good resource.
And you'll clearly continue your support of the company.
Yeah, look, the board has kept this company alive. We've never walked away from it through those tough times. We've been paying the bills, and we will continue to do so because we do see the value in what Phil's described there. I think Phil should just quickly also, Andrew, just talk to our team, because investors need to understand that this is a very comprehensive due diligence process we've been doing on this project here that started 6 or 7 months ago. And so I'll be putting my money in there, as I've continued to do. We'll be reaching out to our wider shareholders and doing a number of presentations with them. But just to finish, I think it'd be wise if we just run through the team and the preso quickly.
Yeah, tell us a bit more, Phil, about who's involved.
I'm a mining engineer by profession. My background is in the coal industry and then in oil and gas. I reconnected with an old acquaintance who spent 30 years doing small-scale surface mining gold operations. and that's Dallas Cox. And Dallas is he's very experienced at this. He knows how to design and operate this scale of mine, and he's shown me various layouts that he's designed and that have been completed that fit within the envelope of land that we have in this mining lease. We've also got a very capable consulting geologist that specialised in gold exploration, and then we have John Foley as our local on-site geologist. He lives in Townsville, so that gives us, and he's got a lot of experience around the Charters Towers area. He knows the lay of the land there, so that gives us a local specialist on the ground in Townsville, close to site. We've got a company called TerraSearch that assist us with exploration activities. They know the ins and outs of who can do what for us when it comes to exploration. We've got a local laboratory in Townsville, ALS, that can do the assay work. Once we finalise the procurement of the asset and we move into the exploration program, then we'll look to find what we think is the right drilling contractor to do the exploration work for us. But we'll manage it pretty tightly. There'll be days when the contractors will have 2 mining engineers on site, making sure that things are done according to the plan and things are tightly held. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But we do have a professional team. Personally, I haven't done any gold mining in the past, but I'm about to find out. But I'm making sure that we've got a good team that know what they're doing.
With shareholders there, all the details for Graham, Duncan and myself are on the presentation. Reach out to us with any questions you may have, and we look forward to getting this company going again.
Clearly a great team and a project with a good deal of potential. Good to see you both. Carl and Phil, thanks for your time.